Every night, we willingly surrender control. We lie down, close our eyes, and trust that our mind will give us rest. But sometimes that transition misfires. The sanctuary of sleep locks from the inside, and you realize you are trapped in your own body. In London in 1782, the intellectual elite were deeply committed to order. This was the height of the Enlightenment, the age of reason. The Royal Academy of Arts dictated that painting had a very specific job. Art was supposed to elevate the viewer through historical, biblical, or classical narratives. A proper painting was logical, well-lit, and designed to deliver a clear moral lesson. Paint and canvas were strictly tools for intellectual instruction. The rational world had absolutely no interest in the messy, irrational, or uncontrollable corners of human psychology. Then a Swiss-born artist named Henry Fuseli unveiled a piece called The Nightmare. Tens of thousands of visitors flocked to the Royal Academy, greeting the canvas with a mixture of shock and horrified fascination. Fuseli ignored every established rule of the Academy. There was no historical text, there was no biblical precedent, there was no noble lesson. Even more confusing to critics was the lack of traditional horror. There were no severed heads and no weapons on the canvas. Nothing about it fit the period's definition of violence. Yet visitors found themselves unable to look away. Fuseli bypassed their training in logic, forcing an Enlightenment-era audience to confront a physical vulnerability they all recognized but never spoke of. To understand why this image is so potent, we have to stop looking at it as a piece of neoclassical art. We need to examine it as a medical case file. Look at the first symptom. The woman's body is severely elongated and draped awkwardly over the edge of the mattress.
Her neck is entirely exposed, and her arms hang limp toward the floor. In modern sleep medicine, this posture translates to a vestibulomotor hallucination. It is the distinct physiological sensation of falling, floating, or twisting while your muscles are locked in complete atonia, temporary paralysis. Then there is the second symptom. Seated directly on her diaphragm is a dense, ape-like creature. This incubus isn't a literal goblin. It represents dyspnea, a severe restriction of breath. It is the crushing physical weight and chest pressure reported by nearly everyone who experiences sleep paralysis. Notice how the creature doesn't look at his victim. He stares straight out of the canvas at us. By breaking the fourth wall, he makes the viewer complicit in the intrusion, confirming this is a deliberate, painted manifestation of respiratory paralysis. Finally, the third symptom. Emerging from the deep crimson shadows behind the bed is the head of a horse. This captures the intruder hallucination. It's the primal, adrenaline-fueled panic of sensing a hostile presence standing in your room, watching from the dark. Look closer at the woman's face. Her eyes are firmly closed. She isn't actually seeing these entities. Fuseli didn't paint the contents of her dream. He painted somatic reality, the exact physical sensations her paralyzed nervous system is enduring. Over a century before doctors had the clinical vocabulary to diagnose parasomnia, Henry Fuseli successfully mapped the invisible, biological weight of a nocturnal panic attack. There is a deeply personal reason Fuseli was able to channel this specific brand of torment. Hidden on the back of the original canvas is an unfinished portrait of a young woman named Anna Landolt, a woman Fuseli loved who rejected him to marry another man. Historians suspect this painting was Fuseli's own toxic, obsessive fantasy. The incubus acts as his stand-in, physically dominating her and disrupting her future marriage bed. This highly personal, psychological terror quickly leaked into the broader cultural bloodstream. Mary Shelley's parents were close with Fuseli, and the visual vocabulary of his painting provided a template for the climax of her novel, Frankenstein. When Shelley described the murdered body of Victor Frankenstein's bride, thrown across her bridal bier, she translated Fuseli's canvas into text. Decades later, illustrators drawing the monster's awakening utilized the exact same heavy, shadowed compositional structure. By visualizing the internal mechanics of a panic attack, Fuseli provided the Gothic genre with a new psychological blueprint for terror, one where the most dangerous monsters are the ones the mind constructs for itself.
The nightmare remains a masterpiece today because it preys on our most inescapable biological vulnerability, the nightly requirement to surrender complete control of our bodies. The true terror of the image is the realization that the mind can turn its host's sanctuary into a prison. Fuseli painted the exact second when sleep stops protecting you and waking up is no longer a choice.